जयो राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, आनंद कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. Hare Krishna. So once again welcome all the devotees. So we are beginning this fourth chapter. Today will be verse number 1. Okay, so before that, going to the fourth chapter, we like to see that lot of parents, they are very much relieved because last week 10th and 12th exam results came, right? And they are relieved after seeing the marks of their children. Okay, so like that, if you see, for spiritual master also, I was thinking, life is also like preparation, right? And death is examination. So spiritual master also very anxious that we should perform well, that we should get liberated, go back to home, back to God. True or not? That's why they given us Diksha and they are guiding us, blessing us. And when they see that when you are doing very nicely Bhakti and at the end we go back to home, they are very, very happy. Same like the parents are getting very much relieved by seeing their children's good performance. Similarly, the Guru also, the spiritual master, is very happy and is very relieved when he is seeing his disciple is doing good and is going back to home, back to God. Srila Prabhupada always said that don't take another chance. This is the lifetime. In this lifetime you have to practice properly and go back to home, back to God. So that's why there is a saying called life is a preparation and death is an examination. So everybody has to face that. So normally they say there is 3 kinds of fears everybody faces. First fear is actually exams. Even if you are studying good, the moment till you see the question paper, there is kind of nervousness, for everyone. Correct? No? Agreed, right? So everybody has a fear for an examination when they see an exam. Parents also. Yes. And second fear is fear of public speaking. If there are like 1,000 people sitting and you are asked in the stage to speak something, then you see the audience, you get some kind of fear, correct? Nervousness. You may speak well, but there is some kind of nervousness or fear. That is second kind of fear. And the third fear is fear of death. Everybody has to die one day, right? But everybody has a fear. The moment, we are approaching closer to death, the more there is anxiety, there is more kind of fear because we do not know what will happen after the death. Right? So that's why they said life is preparation, death is an examination. So Krishna very clearly says, when you remember me at the time of death, yam yam api smaran bhavam tajantante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sadatat bhavi bhavita anta kalecha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram. So when you are exiting this material world, if you can remember Krishna, you will attain Krishna. And whatever you remember at the time of death, that you will attain without fail. So is it possible that throughout the life you don't prepare, at the time of death you can remember Krishna? Not possible. Throughout the college you did not study and finally you are sitting for the exam. Can you pass? Not possible, right? You need to prepare every day. That's why Prabhuji was telling every day we need to chant. If every day you are chanting, then in our consciousness you can remember Krishna easily. So without that preparation it is not possible. That's why Krishna has given us this lifespan that you start preparing, And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, now we hear from Maharaj lecture also, this practice should start from what? Kaumaram Acharit Prajal. From very young age. Very easy if it starts from young age. And then we give this time more and more, we don't practice, then it becomes very difficult at the later stage. But there is also a saying in English, better late than never. At least now, by Krishna's mercy, we have come here. We know what is life, what is the purpose of life, and what is our destination, where we should go. Then we should start, what we should do? Preparing. Right? Otherwise, life will pass very quick, like a dream. Like we are remembering our childhood days. Now it is like a dream. It is not anymore. Right? You all remember school days. It was all, then college days gone. Now we are midlife. They say midlife crisis. Midlife crisis means in the age of like between 40, like that. So very soon this life also will pass. But if you take up Krishna consciousness, then Krishna will protect us. Krishna will take us back home, back to Godhead. So that is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. Otherwise life sometimes is colorful, sometimes happy, sometimes sad. Ultimately one day it will, like a bubble, will burst. The bubble is going very colorful, In the sunlight it looks very colorful and finally it will burst. Like that our life will burst one day without any evidence here. So this is very important. For this, transcendental knowledge is very important. So we all discussed chapter 3 before. So now there was a gap, like almost 1 month we did not conduct any Bhagavad-gita class. So if you recap what we discussed in chapter 3, lot of things we discussed. I am not sure how much we remember now. But at least the last section, Krishna was telling that which is our enemy. We are all thinking outside there are enemies, right? We always see that enemy is outside. He is my enemy, my relative is my enemy. Or sometimes the husband can say my wife is my enemy. Her wife can say my husband is my enemy. Sometimes, they say, I don't know why I married you. But actually Krishna is telling enemy is not outside. Enemy is inside. And Kamesha, Krodesha. So much detailedly we discussed, right? So Krishna in chapter 3 is telling how to win over this enemy. Because enemy means you should defeat. And you cannot compromise with your enemy. Never, like people are fighting, like these two countries, they are fighting. They are never compromising. Even the whole country is destroyed, still fighting. And 2 years, 3 years they are fighting, no compromise. So enemy means no compromise. So how to win over that enemy? Krishna is telling, by development of transcendental knowledge, we can win over this inner enemy called lust. Okay, very important. So through this knowledge only, you can actually win over this enemy called lust. That's why this 3rd chapter and 4th chapter is, actually the 4th chapter is, what is the title of this 4th chapter? Transcendental knowledge. In Sanskrit is called as Jnana Yoga. Okay. So when we say transcendental knowledge, what is the meaning of transcendental knowledge? Anybody can say what is the meaning of transcendental knowledge? When we say transcendental, it is not material. Yes, Prabhuji. It is not material. What else? It is about 3 modes of material nature. He talks about Supreme Lord. Very good. Anybody else? It gives about spiritual knowledge. Yes. It is about absolute truth. Mataji is all transcendental knowledge. We know only cooking knowledge. What is transcendental knowledge? All Prabhujis are saying answers. We want at least one or two Matajis to say. What is your understanding on transcendental knowledge? Because Krishna is speaking transcendental knowledge. What is the meaning? Transcendental knowledge means? Knowledge by which one can achieve Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Matajis? Knowledge of? Who said?
Soul.
Mataji? Very good. It's very good. Because knowledge about soul. See, whatever everyone said, they are correct in one sense. Everybody is saying correct answer. This is knowledge. This knowledge is not perceived by your senses. And it cannot be contemplated by your mind and intelligence. But this knowledge is beyond our physical senses and mental and intellectual capabilities. That means this is something called revealed. It cannot be understood by, it is not like mathematics, physics or chemistry. You go read a book by professor explains and you understand. This knowledge has to be realized. Realized means what? From inside. You will realize that this is what? It is revealed. What is that? It is revealed like lotus blossoms, right? Like that from Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito. What is that meaning? This Divya Jnana means transcendental knowledge. It is blossoming in the heart. It is not just you are trying to understand by your academic. That's why Prabhupada said, even if you are having 10 PhDs, your doctorate in MIT, Stanford, everything, still there is no guarantee you can understand Bhagavad-gita or spiritual knowledge, because this is coming through the practice, through spiritual practice, by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of Acharyas, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, by the mercy of your seva. The more you do seva to Krishna, Krishna will reveal this knowledge. It is not an academic qualification. So that's why Bhagavad-gita is said that Bhagavad-gita is not a book of information, it is a book of transformation. Correct? Anybody touch Bhagavad-gita, it is not that they say, I know. Their life gets transformed. So transcendental knowledge is achieved within the heart. It is not from the head, it is from the heart. What you do in IIT or NIT, this is from your capability of your brain, head, right? Somebody is very intelligent, he can crack the exam, he can come first in the college, correct? But they cannot have the transcendental knowledge. Only way to do transcendental knowledge is by serving the Lord, by serving the devotees. There is no other way. That Krishna will answer this one, he will explain further. So transcendental knowledge means the spiritual knowledge of the soul, Atma, and the knowledge about God and their relationship. What is the relationship between soul and God? It is both purifying and liberating. This is transcendental knowledge. So anybody asks definition of transcendental knowledge means it is first of all spiritual knowledge, okay, not material knowledge. It is spiritual knowledge about the spirit soul, about Bhagavan and the relationship between Bhagavan and Krishna, and such knowledge is the fruit of, this is the main point, this knowledge is the fruit of what? Devotional action, karma yoga. That means this knowledge you will get when you do seva. Correct, Prabhu? When you do seva you get. It is not that like books, if you academic material knowledge you will get by reading. Tomorrow's exam, I read 10 times, I will memorize the definition, write it and get 100 marks. Correct? We are all doing like that. But this knowledge will not come like that. This knowledge is because of your seva. Seva to whom? Seva to the Lord, seva to the devotees, and seva to the holy name. Otherwise it will not come. Okay? So those who want this knowledge, they should do some kind of seva. Any kind of seva. And chanting is also one kind of seva. If you regularly chant, that is also seva only. Because by your tongue. Ata Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Grayam Indriye Sevan Mukhihi Jivado. If you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is also seva. By that chanting also you will get the transcendental knowledge. The Lord explains the remote history of the Gita, the purpose and significance of his periodic descents in this chapter. Up to the material, why Krishna is coming down. Today we read in Namamrita also. Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. And necessity of approaching a guru. A guru is very important in spiritual life. Material life may be not required. So material life also actually required, right? For every subject you have a teacher. Music teacher, dance teacher, yoga teacher. So spiritual knowledge also we need a teacher and realized teacher. So this is transcendental knowledge. Why we are discussing in detail? Because this whole chapter is about transcendental knowledge. And after finishing this chapter, if you do not know what is transcendental knowledge, then there is no use of learning this chapter. Correct? So, this transcendental knowledge, in Bhagavad Gita, in 4th chapter, it is glorified as Jnana Agni. What is the meaning? Jnana Agni means this knowledge is like a fire. Why Krishna is comparing this as fire? What fire can do? Fire can burn. So this knowledge can burn what? Burn the sinful reactions. It can burn what? Our papa is there. It can burn that reactions. Good or not? If it is burning, then we need not suffer. Because whatever we are suffering now is because of our previous sin. That all those sinful reactions will be burnt by this Jnana Agni. Okay. So who is saying this is Jnana Agni? Who is saying? Krishna is saying. This knowledge is Agni. Okay. It can fire, destroy your, it's like a fire. It can destroy your sinful reactions. Jnana Plava means what? Plava means boat. So when Krishna is saying this transcendental knowledge is like Jnana Plava, what is meaning? Boat, what it can do? It can cross over, transport, right? Boat means transport. So what it is going to transport us? In what way it will help? It will help us to cross over this ocean of birth and death to spiritual world. We are in this birth and death ocean, Samsara Sagara. What is that? Samsara Sagara, right? In this ocean. And you are swimming. Sometimes big waves are coming. You are getting inside, sometimes coming out. But this is like you will climb into a boat and then cross over this ocean of which one? Birth and death. So this is Jnana Plava. Jnana Asina means sword. What sword can do? If you are angry with anybody, you take a sword and you can cut, right? Or you can cut fruits also. So what it can cut? Jnana Agni. Jnana Asina. What it can cut? Knots of material attachment. You have so much attachments here, right? From childhood, the child is attached to a toy. Then it is attached to something else. Then we are attached to certain food items, right? Then we are attached to relations. Correct? We are having attachment, right? How you can cut the attachment? You can go to any pharmacy and take any medicine to cut attachment, possible? Or you can go to any doctor, ask, Doctor, I am having so much attachment. Can you do something, treatment for this? Doctor can cut the attachment? No. Prabhuji is telling possible. Because he is sitting near to Anantama Gopal Prabhu. Yes. One injection and then attachment is gone. No more attachment to family, children. Correct? Yes. So this attachment cutting means cutting with whatever attachment, unnecessary attachment you have towards this world, this knowledge can give. Like the moment you are attached to enjoy this material world, Krishna is saying Dukkhalayam, then you know, oh, this place I cannot enjoy. See, attachment comes down, correct? And then Jnana Deepena. Deepena means lamp. What lamp can do? It will destroy darkness and give light. So this knowledge, if you say Jnana Deepena means what it can do? It will show light to our path. We are in the darkness. As soon as sun comes, you know what it is. So this knowledge can reveal the path back to home, back to Godhead. Clear now? So these four, Krishna not saying in the beginning, at the end he is saying, 4 verses are there, like he is saying Jnana Agni, Jnana Plava, Jnana. So this transcendental knowledge is very, very powerful and it can help us. It can help us. So we should never consider Bhagavad-gita as a religious book. It is a spiritual book and it can help us to go back to home, back to Godhead. And no need to stay in this material world, birth and death, again and again, studying LKG, UKG, and then so many struggles, so many problems, correct? Now itself temperature also rising, global warming, acid rain, and you will have to come back again here. So it's a very dangerous place. So if you want to go back to Krishna, then we need the help of transcendental knowledge. So we will come to this verse today, Bhagavad-gita 4.1, very nice, is talking about the history of Bhagavad-gita. When this Bhagavad-gita was actually spoken. When Bhagavad-gita was spoken? First beginning. Now backside devotees. When Bhagavad-gita was spoken. All friends, devotees, they know the answer. When Bhagavad-gita was spoken? Your answer not accepted, Prabhu. Backside. We are coming to class every week, right? We should learn. However, this is our scripture, correct? Everybody is learning their religion, they are learning their scripture. Why we are not learning our scripture? So Bhagavad-gita was spoken. Here Krishna is saying the answer. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we will recite the verse today. Now this today's 4.1 Srimad Bhagavad-gita. History of Bhagavad-gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Iksha Kave Bravit. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Iksha Kave Bravit. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Iksha Kave Bravit. Anybody would like to recite? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Iksha Kave Bravit. One Mataji. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Iksha Kave Bravit. So synonyms. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Imam, this, Vivasvate, unto the Sun God. Yogam, the science of one's relationship to the Supreme. Proktavan, instructed. Aham, I. Avyayam, imperishable. Vivasvan, Vivasvan, the Sun God's name. Manave, unto the Father of mankind, of the name Vaivasvata. Praha, told. Manu, the father of mankind. Ikshvakave, unto the king Ikshvaku. Abravit, said. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to Sun God, Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku. This is history of Bhagavad-gita, not 5,000 years. You will see inside the purport, Prabhupada writes how many years old. So we will repeat the translation. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, And Manu in turn instructed to Ikshvaku. Purport. Somebody would like to read purport?
Hare Krishna. Purport. Here we find the history of Bhagavad-gita traced from a remote time when it was delivered to the royal order of all planets, beginning from the sun planet. The kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad-gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from material bondage to lust. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, culture and devotion. In other words, the executive head of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. In this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system. In the Brahma Samhita 5.52, it is stated,
Yachakshuresa Savita Sakala Grahana Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasnyayati Amrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Let me worship, Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda Krishna, who is the original person and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and traverses its orbit in obedience to his order.
Small Prabhu. The sun is the king
of... The sun is the king of the planets, and the sun god, at present the name of Vivaswan, rules the sun planet, which is controlling all other planets by supplying heat and light. He is rotating under the order of Krishna, and Lord Krishna originally made Vivaswan his first disciple to understand the science of Bhagavad-gita. The Gita is not, therefore, a speculative treatise for the insignificant mundane scholar, but is a standard book of knowledge coming down from the time immemorial. In the Mahabharata, Shanti Parva 348.51 and 52, we can trace out the history of the Gita as follows. Treda Yugado Tado Vivaswan Manave Tado Manuscha Loga Britya Tam Sudaye Chagave Tado Ikshaguna Chakahido Vyapya Logan Avastitaha. The beginning of the millennium, known as Treta Yuga, the science of the relationship, the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this earth planet and forefather of the Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Sri Ramachandra appeared. Therefore, Bhagavad-gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaja Ikshvaku. At the present moment, we have just passed through 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, which lasts 4,32,000 years. Before this, there was Dwapara Yuga, that is
800,000 years.
800,000 years. And before that, there was Treta Yuga,
1,200,000. 200,000
years. That's some
2,500,000
years ago. Manu spoke Bhagavad-gita to his disciple and son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this planet. The age of the current Manu is calculated to last some 300,000 years, of which
120,400,000 years have passed.
400,000 have passed. Accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord, his disciple, sun god Vivaswan. A rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least
120 million, 400,000
years ago.
Now we got the answer, right?
Yes. And in human society, it has been extant for 2 million years. It was re-spoken by the Lord again to Arjuna 5,000 years ago. That is a rough estimate of the history of Gita according to the Gita itself and according to the version of the speaker, Lord Sri Krishna. It was spoken to the sun god Vivaswan because he is also a Kshatriya and is the father of all Kshatriya who are descendants of the sun god or the Surya Vamsha Kshatriyas. Because Bhagavad Gita is as good as the Vedas, being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This knowledge is apaurushaya, that is superhuman. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are, without human interpretation, the Gita must therefore be accepted without mundane interpretation. The mundane wranglers may speculate on the Gita in their own ways, but that is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession, and it is described herein that the Lord spoke to the sun god. The sun god spoke to his son Manu, and Manu spoke to his son Ikshvaku.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So, this is very important. Prabhupada writing. The Gita therefore must be accepted without mundane interpretation. So, if you speculate in their own way, that is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, so same in the disciplic succession only we have to hear this Bhagavad Gita. Very important point. So, we will chant the Mangalacharya prayers. Om Ajnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapata Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagara Jatam Saganarganathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataribhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namao Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Mugam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langete Girim Yatkrapatam Manje Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhav Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Itagadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's a very wonderful purport, and so Prabhupada is giving the history of this Bhagavad Gita. Many people think Bhagavad Gita is only 5,000 years old, but Bhagavad Gita is from time immemorial. At least from human calculation, it goes up to 120 million years before. Okay, so we will see that calculation. So this whole chapter, as I said, it is a linking from 3rd chapter, where Krishna is telling how you can conquer an internal enemy called lust. Okay, how you can conquer by cultivating your transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge is explained here in 4th chapter. So 4th chapter has 42 verses. So it is split into 4 sections with the acronym called PAST. P applies for, first is Krishna explains about himself, about the origin and history of Bhagavad Gita, and also about himself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani, I am coming down, janma karma chame divyam. So position of Krishna is given in the first 10 verses. Okay. Second, how you will apply the practical application of knowledge. You get the transcendental knowledge. How do you apply that in your practical day-to-day life to your work? That is applying transcendental knowledge to your work, 11 to 24. And how do you obtain this transcendental knowledge? First is application, but how do you receive this transcendental knowledge? That is, you do some sacrifice. What sacrifice you do? Sankirtana yajna, by chanting the holy name, by doing seva. Some kind of sacrifices you do, that will give your transcendental knowledge. Material knowledge you will get by your brain, but transcendental knowledge you will get by sacrifice. If you do some sacrifice, like brahmacharis, they sacrifice their whole life. they will get transcendental knowledge. You do some seva to the Lord, you do some seva for the program, you do some seva for the devotees, then you will get transcendental knowledge. And how you will, the process of transcendental knowledge, how it will work actually, the process of transcendental knowledge. That is from 34 to 42. That is like you go to a guru, you surrender, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, upadekshenti. Everywhere the word is there, sevaya, sevaya, sevaya. So Vaishnava philosophy is all about service. So first is actually position of Krishna. What we all know, right, from Bhagavad-gita. Many people write Bhagavad-gita, but they don't explain the position of Krishna. They think Krishna is a teacher, or Krishna is a warrior, or Krishna is a prince, or Krishna is a king, or Krishna is superhuman. But actually, who is Krishna? Krishna is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So, Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead that we understand from the first 10 verses. Because Sambhavami Yuge, Dharma Samsthapanataya, Sambhavami Yuge Yuga. So, first 10 verses in the chapter 4 talks about position of Krishna. And also the first 3 verses, 1, 2, 3 talks about how this Bhagavad-gita originated, like we saw now. Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktahan Aham Avyayam Manu Ishka Kebra. How this Bhagavad-gita, now we are reading Bhagavad-gita. Every week we are studying. But how this Bhagavad-gita came into this planet? What is the origin? This Bhagavad-gita, it is explained in the first 3 verses. So this is coming, this knowledge is coming through how? How it is coming? Through parampara. Parampara is very important. Disciplic succession. Like how the power is coming to this place. From where it is coming, this power? Electricity. Electricity is coming from where? When you switch on this light, you have the power point, right? How it comes? From where it comes? Power. From power generator. But through which medium it comes? Through transmission towers, right? This transmission towers is compared to the disciplic succession. The original knowledge is coming from Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. He is giving this knowledge for the welfare of the humanity. But who is carrying that knowledge and giving to us? The Acharyas. Okay, through them this knowledge is getting transmitted. Now this parampara, Krishna is telling, he has given this from Krishna to Sun God, to Vivaswan. What is Sun God's name? Vivaswan. Now there is a controversy here. Now many people who are studying academics, they may think, sun planet, how people can live? Sun planet people can live? Yes, according to our version, according to the Vedic version. But modern scientific knowledge, they say sun is a very fiery planet. So people, how they can withstand fire? So Prabhupada is giving an example how we cannot live inside the water, right? But fish can live in the water. Because why? Fish is having a suitable body which can live 24 hours in the water. We may live in the water for 1 day, 2 days max, 1 day. Then after that our body will die if we live more time. Because we are now, our body is not suitable to live in the water. The fish cannot live in the land. Correct? If you put the fish 1 or 2 hours, it will die. Similarly, Prabhupada says, in the sun planet, there is sun god, Vivaswan. And the bodies there, they are suitable to live in the fire. Because our body is made of earth, water, air, fire, ether, right? Those bodies are made in the fiery form. So they can actually live there. But modern people cannot prove, because you cannot go near the sun. Even if you send a satellite, it will burn. So you cannot get knowledge. What is happening inside the sun, scientifically you cannot get. To moon maybe you will leave some satellite. But if you leave satellite to sun, what will happen? You want knowledge about sun. You leave, what you will do? You will send a satellite, right? And it will go there. But if you send to sun, what will happen? It will burn. It will blast before reaching the sun. Millions of kilometers away it will blast. So this is spiritual knowledge, transcendental knowledge. Krishna is telling there is sun god. His name is called Vivaswan. And I have given this Bhagavad-gita knowledge to whom? Vivaswan. How many years before? We will see next slide. And Vivaswan given it to Manu. Who is Manu? His son, right? And Manu given to his Ikshvaku. Like this Bhagavad-gita is coming from millions of years before. This is called Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarishyo Vidu. Why they are giving to the great personalities? Because the top people is, they said in English, if the head is good, tail is also good. If the top people are good, then everybody will be good, correct? And Kali Yuga, what will happen? All who are not properly qualified, that Faltu category, all they will come in the top post. Then what will happen to the society? So they open everywhere, bar, liquor shop, everything, because this is how Kali Yuga will progress. Who are not qualified, they will come on the top post. So everybody below will be tortured. Future of Kali Yuga. Now itself we are seeing some sample, right? We are seeing what qualification is having, why he is sitting in that seat, Whether maybe minister or company boss, like that. So Kali Yuga will intensify, lot of unqualified people will come on the top and all other people in the bottom will have to suffer for that. So top people should be good. That's why Krishna is giving this knowledge to the Raja Rishi or the saintly people. He is giving this knowledge so that he will provide this knowledge and opportunity for the subject citizens to cultivate spiritual life. Right? Now you also have Modi, Prime Minister, right? He is giving more importance to temples. And then you can see there is a spiritual upliftment. Okay, because when the top people give, all the people will try to follow. If nobody will take care of temple, everything is ruined, there is no maintenance, what will happen? Nobody will go to temple, right? So if temple is made into a nice tourist place, then people will come, because then they will get spiritual knowledge. So all these things are very important, that head should be proper. Otherwise, it is not going to work properly. So that's why Krishna is giving to top people, the Raja Rishi. Okay, and that is what, and evam parampara sa kalena mahata yogo nashta parantapa. So then Krishna is saying the second verse that by eventually this knowledge is getting destroyed by the influence of what? Time. Correct? Time usually destroys many things. This knowledge also destroyed. So again he is telling this to Arjuna 5000 years before. So this verse we already recited. Sun God. Who is Sun God? What is the name of Sun God? Vivaswami. So this is from Brahma Samhita, where Brahma is reciting this verse. Okay. Yet chakshur yesa savita sakala grahanam raja samasta suramurti rashesha teja yasnyaya brahmati sambra kala chakro govindam adipurusham tamam bhajam. What do you understand from this verse? Sun is actually operating under the control of Krishna. Maya dakshena pragati suicheta saracharam. So material people, they are thinking this world is working automatically, right? But there is no automatic here. Everything is working under the direction of Krishna. This is spiritual knowledge. Material knowledge means everything working under automatically. Automatically it will work like that. Sun will come every day 6 o'clock. Every day sun will set at 6 p.m. Automatically it will happen? No. It cannot happen. If there is an arrangement. They say sun is coming 6 o'clock by accident. How accident can happen every day 6 o'clock? No? Correct. It's not possible, right? So, spiritual knowledge means to understand there is an arrangement. There is God behind the sun. Sun and moon are the eyes of God. So this every holy scripture is accepting. Bible, Quran, Bhagavad-gita. So there is a God. And under his direction only this sun is operating. That's what this sloka. Yet chakshur esa savita sakla grahanam. It's the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, whose order the sun performs his journey mounting in the wheel of time. Okay. So now we come to the history of Bhagavad-gita, because this sloka is about Bhagavad-gita, right? So if you see 120,400,000 years ago, Krishna spoken this Bhagavad-gita to whom? Vivaswami. How many million years ago? 120 million years ago. This according to Bhagavad-gita. Then 2 million years before, Vivaswami instructed to Manu, because there is coming in the which yuga? Treta Yuga, right? Prabhupada read in the purport, Treta Yuga. Then again, Yogo Nashta Parantapa, Sa Kalena Mahata, due to the influence of time, this knowledge got lost or covered. Then Krishna revealed, brought it back again, re-spoke the entire Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna 5000 years before. At least now we can say at least 5500 years, 300-400 years. Okay, and then 1200 years ago, who spoke this? Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. He spoke as called as Sankara Bhashya. That is how many years before? Okay, that is Advaitavadi, Advaita philosophy, Shankaracharya. Then 1000 years before, who spoke this Bhagavad Gita? Ramanuja. It's called as Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam. Bhashyam means commentary on Bhagavad Gita. That is 1000 years before. 750 years ago, who spoke? Madhvacharya. See how this is called disciplic succession. Okay, Madhvacharya spoke the Bhagavad Gita commentary. It is called as Gita Bhashya. 600 years ago, who spoke Bhagavad Gita? Sridhara Swami. That is called as Subodhini, right? And then 350 years ago, who spoke the same Bhagavad-gita? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It is called as Sarha Varshini Thika. Okay, that is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He is a Vaishnava saint. Then 250 years ago, who spoke? Baladev Vidyabhushan. It is called as Gita Bhushana. Same Bhagavad Gita only. Everybody is, repeating the same. Because this knowledge, you cannot give your own commentary. It should be as per the parampara. Then 1886 and 1891 AD, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It is called as Rasika Ranjana and Vidvad Ranjana. So, Vaishnava Acharya, he has given commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And 1972, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he went to America and given this knowledge to the Western society on the order of his spiritual master. So this is actually history of Bhagavad Gita. So we think it is Bhagavad Gita is 5000 years. That is only we are seeing here. If you go up to there, it is at least 120 million years. Actually it is from immemorial. But at least for our material calculation it is how many years? 120 million years, 400,000 years before it is spoken to sun god Vivaswan, and then 2 million years before Vivaswan instructed to Manu is the father of the mankind in the age of Treta Yuga. Clear or not? So this is that. First is sun god, is a first disciple. And then Manu. Manu means, who is Manu? Manu means the progenitors of the mankind. The human beings come from the word called Manu. Manushya. Man. See, the father of mankind is Manu. And then Manu given to Ikshvaku. Then Krishna given the same knowledge to Arjuna. Why Krishna given same knowledge to give Arjuna? Because Arjuna was not willing to fight. Okay. So same knowledge. Material knowledge will be changing, right? Like the atom theory. Atom, they said first it is particle or whatever, whoever read the science, then they told atom cannot be split. Every time the knowledge gets changed by different scientists. But Bhagavad Gita, what is spoken, when it was spoken beginning? 120 million. 120 million, 400,000. Same knowledge, nothing is changed. Same what is spoken 120 million, 400,000 years. Now, current trend, modern age, same knowledge. There is no change. What is this? Life of Brahma, right? So you can see what is the life of Brahma according to Vedic calculation is how many years? 311 trillion years, 100 years. 100 years of Brahma is equal to 311 trillion years. You come to Manu period. Manu lives for how many years? 306 million years. That means 71 Divya Yugas. One Divya Yuga is how much? 4.32 million years. You come to bottom, no? So Satya Yuga is 1.7 million. Treta Yuga is 1.2 million. Dwapara Yuga is 8. What is it? How many? 8,64,000. And Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Okay. So if you add all this, how much will come? That is called one Divya Yuga. That is 4.32 million years. If you add the 4 Yugas together, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, you add all the 4 together, it comes 4.32 million years. Okay, that is one Divya Yuga. Like that, for 71 Divya Yugas, one Manvantara will be there. One Manu will be there. That is 306 million years. So like this, you see that Manu period is there. That's why Prabhupada writes this in the calculation. How much years is there? You understood? You have to see this image and understand. Like what is one Kalpa? 14 Manu. One day of Brahma, how many Manus change? One day of Brahma, how many Manus change? 14 Manus change. So 14 into 71. Yeah. So it is like actually one day of Brahma is 4.32 billion years. So you may think this is very big, right? For human life also, there is one insect which is coming in the night time, It is taking birth, next day it will die. So for Brahma's vision, we are like that insect, 100 years, very, very insignificant. And for Krishna, Brahma is very insignificant. Like that, this is very relative. For us, it may look big. But for us, ant life is very small. Like it lives for 1 year, 2 years, like that. So this is not imaginary things. These are as per the creation. As per this is the instruction on our scripture. Okay. So like this, the Manu period it is given. So here we see the importance of disciplic succession. Why we have the parampara? Why parampara is important? If parampara is not there, what will happen? The teachings will change. Somebody else will come and tell something. This is what Bhagavad-gita told. Bhagavad-gita told to eat, drink and be happy. Like that people can tell, right? Then we will also believe, yes, Bhagavad-gita told like that. No, parampara, they will preserve this knowledge and give it as it is. That's the importance of parampara. And how does it work? You have to learn and apply these teachings. And who can receive this knowledge? Very important point. Who can receive this knowledge? If you are devotee of Krishna only. Otherwise not possible. Devotee of Krishna. That's why we say Krishna repeatedly says that you can understand me only by devotion. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. If you are not devotee of Krishna, you cannot understand. Why? Krishna will not reveal. Example I will tell you. Now you are going to somebody who is standing in the bus stop. Okay. You are just talking to him. You are tell hi, how are you? This much you can talk, right? But you want asking, when you got married, where was your honeymoon? Do you think that person will tell you all those things? No. He will ask you, who are you? Why are you asking my intimate things? But imagine if you are very close to him, you are very close friend, he will tell you or not. How was his married life, where he went, he will tell or not. Like that, unless you go close to Krishna, he will not reveal. He will not reveal to any X, Y, Z. That's why it is said that Bhagavad-gita, it is knowledge about Krishna, and Krishna will reveal this knowledge only to intimate people. Who are intimate to Krishna? Devotees, sadhu, acharyas, they are very close to Krishna. So Krishna reveals, even though you may get Bhagavad-gita by paying 200 rupees, but still you cannot understand or apply Bhagavad-gita. It will be revealed only by those who are intimately connected to Krishna, like Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was able to understand what is Bhagavad-gita teaching, and he is able to tell. If you want to apply, if you want to understand Bhagavad-gita also, we should become close to Krishna. And how do you become close to Krishna? By chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By serving Krishna, by chanting the holy name of Krishna, then we become close to Krishna. Then Krishna will reveal. Okay? It's a very important point. If you are not interested in Krishna, Krishna will not reveal. One more example is there. Like two people are talking to each other. One person is talking about him, Then other person is seeing watch like this. Now I am taking class. You are seeing watch there, clock there. You are seeing here. Then you are keeping your hand like this. Then what I will do? I will stop speaking because I understood. So you are not interested. Like that, sometimes you talk to people, no? They are seeing like this, and you are talking like this, seeing like this, then you will stop talking. Like that, Krishna also will not give, because if you are not interested, he will not give. But if you are interested, he will give more and more. Right? So this is understanding, which is Krishna's friend and devotee. Unless we are not interested, he will not give this. Why he should give if you are not interested? Because no need to give, right? If you give something valuable to a person who does not know the value, he will throw it. Right? Somebody you give, diamond, he does not know it is my diamond. He may throw it. But if he knows it is diamond, then he will keep it inside the locker. So we should know the value of Bhagavad-gita and we should show interest. Then only Krishna will give. You understood? No? This is very, very important. So and this association only we can understand this Bhagavad-gita. So there are so many editions of Bhagavad-gita in the market. See, when you type in Google Bhagavad-gita, you will get so many Bhagavad-gita. Everybody has written commentary. You all seen, right? Different, if you go to any shop, you will see Bhagavad-gita, many copies are there, different authors. But it will not have any effect unless he is a devotee. Because I said no, if you are not a devotee, the Bhagavad-gita you preach, there will be no value. That's why so many people written so many Bhagavad-gita, but not one person also changed by reading that Bhagavad-gita. But when Prabhupada had written Bhagavad-gita, He taken this Bhagavad-gita to not to Indians, to the Western people who do not know what is Bhagavad-gita, who do not know who is Krishna from their birth. They never hear the word Krishna in their lifetime, but they all become Krishna devotees. How it is possible? Because Prabhupada he was a pure devotee and he given the knowledge as it is. How Krishna wants this to be presented in the same way Prabhupada presented. That's why there is effect. But if you change, what will happen? The power, the potency of Bhagavad Gita is lost. It cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. That is called, what is this? That is called disciplic succession. Guru Sishya Parampara. Disciplic succession is means by which the transcendental knowledge is preserved. Okay, otherwise it will get lost or diluted or diverted or distracted. By that you will not get any benefit. You will have Bhagavad Gita in your home, but you will not have any benefit. See, after Prabhupada spoke Bhagavad Gita, taught Bhagavad Gita, there was transformation in the entire world. Correct? How many temples we have ISKCON now in the world? Anybody knows? 800 plus. Every country, every major city in the world, there is a ISKCON temple. There are practicing devotees from all the nationalities, including China, Japan, Korea, South America, North America, Europe, Australia, Antarctica, Greenland, everywhere. Why? So many people taught Bhagavad Gita before Prabhupada. Why they were not able to change? Why Prabhupada only was able to change? Because he was a pure devotee of the Lord and he given the knowledge as it is. So you can see the images, so many people got transformed. From the top industrialist up to the bottommost labor. It's not only the wealthy people changed. Every class of people, they got transformed by touching this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So what is spiritual knowledge? Spiritual knowledge means to know, what is that? Who am I? First of all, we think we are this body, but Bhagavad Gita says that you are not this body, you are eternal spirit soul. When you die, you don't, only the body dies and the soul will take birth again. Very important knowledge. So His Grace Tapan Prabhu, Mishra Prabhu was there. He was working in Kanyadesh, here in Kuwait. And he was getting a salary around per month, maybe around 6,000 KD per month. Because he was from IIT, IIM. But after getting Bhagavad Gita knowledge, he went to serve in the temple. Because he told, I understood the importance of human life. It is not only earning money. Because that knowledge changed him. You see, then he started serving. Because we think that we earn, we will put in our bank and we will have a happy retired life. After that die, nothing will happen. No. We will come back again here. What are we going to do for that? When we want to come back again. Now temperature is 55. And scientists are talking about global warming, acid rain. So when you will come back, how it will be? Earth will be there that time. Will be pleasant, smiling, welcoming you? No. It will be very harsh. But you will start again from scratch. Not you, we all. If you don't take Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Again you will come, again you will suffer, again we will die. Body will die. We will come back again. Again we will start from LKG. A for apple. Again. You will continue again. Again marriage. Again children. Again grandchildren. Again you will die. Again you will come as a baby. Fortunate if you will come as a human birth. Otherwise you can take birth as animal also. So if you don't have this knowledge, what will happen? You do not know where you are going to go. You will come back again and again suffer. That is why this knowledge, to know who am I. I am an eternal spirit soul. I will not die when the body dies. And I will take birth again here. And to stop, I have to catch the lotus feet of Krishna. And knowledge about God, Supreme Lord and His appearances. Knowledge about my relationship with God. See, this is how Bhagavad Gita helps us. It helps us to guide us our path back to home, back to Godhead. It does not make your attachment to this world stronger. See, if you are attached to this world very strongly, what happens? The moment you see somebody is flourishing and you are not able to flourish, you feel very rejected, right? You feel like my life is a failure. But if you take spiritual knowledge, you will not feel your life is failure. Because you know that you are going to a glorious destination. This is only a transit place. This is only a temporary place. I need not bother, success or failure. After this, where I am going to go, that is very important. Okay, so this is very important. Here you can see, this is a nice image. This was a person saying, I was beautiful and famous. But at the end, where is he landing? Into 6 by 6 ground, right? After that he is looking like this, correct or not? But he was, when he was living, he was very beautiful and famous. Like today's world, we are seeing many people are beautiful, they are very famous. If they buy, for seeing that beauty, many people are standing in the line. But after death, what happens? 6 by 6, and this body will become like this. Correct? This is harsh reality. This is not, what is that? What they say? Editing, software editing. No. Photoshop. No, this is real. It becomes like this, right? But during when they were living, they are very famous, very beautiful. And this other person saying, I had the most expensive house and cars. Same pit only, 6 by 6. He is also like that. Okay. And the third is telling, I was a millionaire. Millionaire means he was, like lot of people are there. No. Bill Gates, so many people are there. They are also 6 by 6 for everybody. Same soil, same space. It is not that millionaire means you make a big pit. No, same 6 by 6 only for everybody. And after that the body will deteriorate, and if you excavate and see, this will be there. Okay. So, but if I knew Krishna, what will be my benefit? Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvatha tekta deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Krishna says very clearly in Bhagavad-gita, if anybody understands my janma karma cha me divyam, my appearance and activities, they are divyam, spiritual. Tekta deham punarjanma naiti. They will not take birth again in this material. Mameti so Arjuna. He will come back to me. So who is having faith? Who is having sincerity? Who is having seriousness that he want to go back to spiritual world? He want to go back to Krishna. He will take up this Krishna consciousness seriously. Other people, it is only time pass. Okay. So Krishna consciousness, it is very important. Shravanam Kirtanam. You should hear about Krishna. We should speak about Krishna. So when you come to this Friday program also, you should come at least before chanting, 10:30. You should come. You should glorify Krishna. Krishna is saying, Janma karma cha me divyam. If you have faith, you come, you chant together, then hear Bhagavad-gita. Then only you will be benefited. Otherwise this satsang is no use for you. Correct? You can come and go. But what is the benefit? Because people, when we do it free, they don't understand the value. But you tell, it is 5 KD every Friday satsang. Then people will come 9 o'clock, Because they don't want to lose their money. You charge. Anything you give free, there is no value in this world. Even if it is good thing, if you give freely, people will doubt. They are giving freely means something is trap is there. But you charge means, then it is valuable. I have to go, I have paid money, I have to take the full benefit of this 5 KD. So you should understand that. Come and hear and chant. So that, you go back to Krishna. And no need to come back to this material world which is very miserable. Don't think this is a very fancy place. No, it is not fancy. It is very, you see how many wars are happening. That war, if it want to come to our country, how much time it will take? Not 1 minute. It can come. Any country can face war. Once war comes, the whole world is disturbed. The whole country is disturbed. So this is very important to understand. Okay? So if you know Krishna, Tekta Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sarjana. You go back to Krishna. See which image is good? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is good? First one? Say fourth one, right? So we all want to be in the fourth one after our life. We don't want to be in the first category, or second or third, like that. Do anybody likes? If I bring a skeleton here, everybody will run away, right? But that is, nobody want to see like that. But we will become like that. But we want to go back to Krishna. And we have to have an eternal spiritual body full of happiness and bliss. Okay? So we have a small video now. It may be like a very normal kind of video, but it's giving a good message. I will play this video. See, rebellious soul comes to this material world. We came to this material world to taste happiness for himself away from God. And got stuck in the cycle of birth and death. Okay? Message is clear. Who can save? Only Bhagavad-gita and devotees can save. You know what is that machine? Plastic machine, no? He mistakenly put his hand. The whole, like that we mistakenly came here. Who can save? You see one more time. See, it is rolling, right? See, this kind of cycle of birth and death. You're getting more and more entangled. The devotees are coming, Bhagavad Gita is coming, they are switching off their cycle. Then they will cut the plastic and retrieve the person. Okay? Like that Bhagavad Gita can help us. Like this transcendental knowledge can help us. So it is very, very important. We have got this fortune, even though we are here in this remote place, we are getting, Krishna is giving this message to us. He is inviting us to the program. He is giving this knowledge to somebody, and we should take it as an inspiration, chant every day sincerely, come to the satsang, see other devotees, we get inspiration. Somebody is doing better than us, like children, they see somebody getting good mark, then they say, I also want to get 90 marks, like that. If you sit in the home, they don't study. When they see other students, they also want to do better, right? Everybody applying for NEET, JEE, they are saying, oh, he is getting good mark, he is going to that coaching, I will also go, I also want to get like that. So when you come to devotee association, when you see devotees who are chanting sincerely, then you get the desire that I also want to become like him. Natural, this is our human tendency. If you see always you are associating with people who are going to movies, you want to see which movie is releasing next. I also want to see that movie. He told last week, I will also see. So it is association. If you come, you see devotees, you are getting inspiration to become a better devotee. So in that way, make use of this association and chant regularly so that we get spiritual upliftment. Hare Krishna. Any questions or any doubt? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Granthra Srimad Bhagavad-gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So thank you all. Any questions you have? I am also trying whatever in my sadhana. I also have a long way to go. It is not that I speak, I am doing very sincerely. But I pray to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis that whatever I speak, I should follow in my life. So Krishna, we will give that strength for every one of us. Hare Krishna. So any questions or any...
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very, very inspiring gospel.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada's mercy.
I feel I have to be very serious into this devotional service after attending this class.
Every one of us. Every one of us.
Okay, I have a small question. At the beginning it is mentioned that the science is imperishable.
Imperishable, yes.
Yeah. So how do we understand that knowledge has been lost due to the influence of science? Is it a mean the parampara has been lost or something like that? Is it?
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice question actually. Anything in this material world is destroyed by time. This is the nature of this material world. Even you see sometimes in our company also, I have seen many times, they will release one procedure. And first 1 month, 2 months, everybody follow the procedure. Then after, like 12 months, 1, 2 years, they will just follow it for namesake. It happens, in company, our life also. Anything, Prabhu, you see any teachings, over a period of time it comes diluted. Then people will follow only for namesake. Then Krishna will revive that by sending, like you see in the Middle East also, Prophet came, right? He revived 5 times you have to pray, you have to fast during Ramadan. If he has not come, then this will not be there. Jesus Christ came, he revived that God consciousness. So the nature of this material world, everything is influenced by time, like our body, how we were 10 years before. So everything eventually will be lost or destroyed or diminished or covered by time. Then Krishna, what he will do, he will mercifully revive it through either he comes directly or he will send his representative. Like if Prabhupada was not there, we will not touch Bhagavad-gita. So it is Krishna's mercy is sending Prabhupada to revive this. So this is nature of this world. It will be, Krishna says, 11th chapter, he says, Kalosmi, I am time, I destroy everything here. Yes, everything will be destroyed. Whatever we see in this world, our buildings, our factories, our lives, our community, our society, everything will be destroyed by the influence of time. In that way, this knowledge is also not an exemption. Even though it is imperishable, it cannot be destroyed. It is covered. Because this is spirit soul, spiritual knowledge, these all things cannot be destroyed like material thing. But this will be covered. Covered means it will not be revealed at that time, it will be closed. Like till Prabhupada was there, Prabhupada revealed. Bhagavad-gita is still there, but it was not to the public, they do not know. So Prabhupada revealed it again. This covered means it is uncovered again. So after some time what will happen? Prabhupada said this movement will last for how many years? 10,000 years. Again it will be covered. Then people do not know about Bhagavad-gita again. Maybe then Krishna will have a plan, he will send somebody. We don't know when he will send. Maybe in Satya-yuga only. We do not know. But Prabhupada said, my movement will be going on for 10,000 years. So Prabhupada, from now 10,000 years, Krishna consciousness will be there. People will know, hear about Bhagavad-gita. After that, again, Yoga Nashta Parantapa. Again it will become covered. Okay, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Just about the comments. So, Prabhuji given 4 pictures, a beautiful and the most expensive car. Then I was being there. So in pandemic, it's Corona pandemic, heard about this. There's a accident happening in Bombay. He was billionaire, but even his relatives
Were not allowed to see.
approached him, to take care. So only the body is covered, and there is they show the in the news. There is important news came here. So there is the important thing. Only we cannot take anything from here.
Yes.
Only the solution is Bhagavad picture.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji is telling very nice example, practical example. During COVID, one of the millionaire in Mumbai, because he was affected by COVID, the COVID time they did not give the body back. So the relatives were, waiting. They were not able to see him. Only they saw in the TV, and then they were taken the body also. They did not get to give the body also. So this world, anything can happen. Everything is temporary. We should know, and any kind of shocks can come. But we have to hold Narsimhadev. We have the upcoming festival. 22nd we have Narsimha Jayanti. We have to hold that because he is the protector of devotees. Narsimha, mainly he appeared for protecting his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So we have to hold. That is actually our shelter. So our Harinam is our only shelter. Harinam is only our strength. Okay, these two things we should remember. Harinam is only our shelter, and Harinam is our shelter and strength. Okay, so that is thing. Anybody else? Any other questions? So what was the 4 things Krishna said about jnana, transcendental knowledge? Anybody remember that 4 examples? Jnana Agni, which can burn the fire of all our sinful reactions. Then second, Jnana Plava, it can take us, crosses the ocean of birth and death as a boat. Jnana Asina, it's a sword, right? It can cut the attachments which we have in this material world. And 4th, Jnana Deepena, it is like a lamp which can guide us on the path towards back to home, back to Godhead. Nice. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Anybody want to have any further questions, comments, Prabhu?
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
It's very inspiring today. First time I attended.
Hare Krishna.
But I read it earlier also in Bhagavad-gita. Whatever the possible way I could understand also. My question is, it may be a scientific way, it be there, but don't mistake me. Why we have 4 yugas is there? This yugas is repeating.
Yes.
So many cycles.
Cyclic, yeah.
It is happening. Why this kind of cycle is created by God?
Very good. Nice.
Actually, just keep on coming good things, Kali Yuga, you know that.
Yes.
So, years going on, it will be bad things going to happen.
Yes.
So, why it is created, God can create a good world always and create a good people because God having the power. God only created these things.
Yes. Well, I understood your question.
In your mind.
Why he is doing like this?
Yeah.
Is he a bad person? Like that?
No, I am not saying a bad person.
No. One thought comes, why he is doing all these things? Reason.
Yeah.
The reason.
Yes.
It is a very good question. So for that you should regularly come and you will get the answer. But I will tell you in short, because you are coming in between the 4th chapter, no? So Krishna gives the answer for everything in Bhagavad-gita. Father wants his son to be with him. But there are some son who do not want to be with the father. You have seen like that? Like that there are souls which don't want to be with God. So those souls are actually in the material world. And Krishna is telling to come back again. But these souls don't want to go. They want to stay here and whatever facility they want to be here. So every time Krishna is giving this knowledge and telling to come back, there are few fortunate souls, they are going back. And there are souls still not going back. So Krishna is giving opportunity again and again through various ways that you connect to me. He is telling this place is not good, you have to come back to me.
Yeah.
So there is place, what you said, beautiful place. Why can't Krishna already created that beautiful place that is called as Vaikunta. That is called spiritual world. But there are sometimes we are very crazy that we don't want to be in a good place. We want to be independent. So Krishna is not touching our freedom. You know, if you want to love somebody, you should give freedom. So Krishna has given us freedom. If you want God or you want God's property, we want to be in this world, He is given here, but He is advising us this is not a good place. I'll tell you one example. Government is giving license for liquor and cigarette, right? But government itself giving that warning that if you smoke, you will get cancer. If you drink, your liver will go. But why government given permission for that? If you know this is bad for the country people, government know already, government only telling put this advertisement, then still why they are giving permission? Because people want to enjoy that. Of course, government is getting revenue, that is different, but people want to enjoy that. So we want to enjoy this world, so Krishna created this world, but he is telling this is not a good place to enjoy, come back to me. That is called spiritual world, which you are referring that good happy place. So there are two worlds, one is spiritual world, one is material world. So we are in the material world now, Krishna is calling back to the spiritual world where you can be eternally happy. Okay? But gradually you will get this faith. See, spiritual world you cannot see by your telescope. You cannot see by your telescope. You see through this transcendental knowledge, through Bhagavad-gita, through the scriptures only. Yes. Hare Krishna. Krishna is there in his name. He is very happy. Right.
Yeah, like I understand your things. I also having in mind thought process actually.
See, scientifically also they say parallel worlds, right? Parallel worlds are there. Parallel worlds means there is another world existing,
yes,
which is not visible from this eyes.
Yeah. Because we are living in the 3 or 4 dimensions.
Yes.
So
that is fourth dimension.
Yeah.
That is fourth dimension, spiritual world.
Yeah, many dimensions are there.
Yes.
I heard about those things. But we are not able to see, so we cannot prove it also.
Yes.
And that can be done through only spiritual way.
Scriptures and spiritual way. Krishna says, what is that verse, Prabhu? Krishna says, no, that existence of spiritual. Edgatva na nivartante taddama paramamama. Na tad bhashete suryo na sasanko na pavaka edgatva na nivartante. That world is not illuminated by sun and moon. It is self-effulgent. That is my abode. And you come there. You know, so, yes. And Krishna is telling, Brahma Bhuvana, you will not come back here. Taddama paramamama. So once you reach, so it is like that, we originated from there, we got to go back. We have to go back to him. And Krishna is motivating us through Bhagavad-gita, through sending the sadhus and spiritual people. And then he is inspiring us to take up this life more seriously.
Yes.
Educating us and enlightening us.
That is why we born as a human.
Yes.
So
In human life only you get that intelligence to grasp all these things.
Yes.
But in animal life, you cannot grasp all these things.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So welcome you, all these Fridays you come. There is lot to learn and it's very good that we can make your life very peaceful and happy by taking spiritual life for our family. It is good for your family as well as for your children also. So please come every Friday and learn this.
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we have also children class. We can engage the children during this Bhagavad-gita when we are attending. Children parallelly attend the sloka in the next room.
Okay.
That way. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.